It's a rainy day outside. It's the beginning of 2023, and I want to share with you a new project, a new direction, a branch that I'm going to be going in and hopefully take you along for the ride. It's the online therapy exploration, and I'm inspired by Studs, the latest Netflix documentary. I've been telling people about it, and it all began one day when, at my just a few days ago, my 32nd birthday, I had there, I had, we, I had, I had a conversation with my parents. Oh, my parents. So much there. It was my birthday, and we talked about therapy, and then we randomly chose to watch Studs. My mom picked it out, and it was a beautiful movie about therapy. Jonah Hill in that movie was saying he wanted to bring the tools of therapy, which have changed his life, helped him go from self-hating to loving. And that resonated with me. It really did. Especially as I continue in year 5. This will be year 5 for me doing Eating Enlightenment. And just thinking about how I can continue to go in this direction of bringing these tools to people. And I'm diving in with my first review article on Talkspace. So that'll come out next on this channel. But this video is simply to update you why I'm going in this direction. I'm very drawn to helping people find therapy. I've done enough work on myself to know that I was the therapist for the family. I carried the emotional load. And so I know just from my own inner child and their roles why it's important to them that I do this. And I think at this point in my life, I'm in tune, I'm in sync with the purpose of this part, this inner child within me, who wants to share, who wants others to heal. I think previously I would take on too much energy from other people. My inner child would be too empathetic, too sensitive. It would absorb all the noise, and it would be too much for me. My part really wasn't being heard back then. And through 7+ years of therapy, here I am today. Much more in tune with this sacred mission in a balanced way. You could say I've found my purpose in life. I think when we go into trauma, when we go into the maze, when we explore our shadow, when the pain that is stored in our bodies can be released through tears, I think you find the meaning of life. And so my coaching might not be for you. I'm doing my heal trauma for binge eating specifically. But I want you to still have tools. Anxiety, bipolar, relationships, all sorts of things. Depression. I want you to go on this journey with me where we learn about the landscape of online therapy. I think it's the way of the future because everything's going online, and maybe I'm biased. I am concerned because I met my therapist in when I was going to graduate school for counseling. And funny story, Miss Quatman, the kind of the principal professor at Santa Clara University, was taking her intro to psychology class, and she asked for a live demonstration for a student to raise their hand and go in front of the class with her, and she'd do therapy on them. And I rose my hand. I knew I was looking to heal trauma at this point, so I was kind of like, let me soak this all up, right? Let me get in there, right? Get in my heart. Like, let me try to figure this out. And she told me afterwards that I would need to go see a therapist. Boy, did that piss me off, even though I already knew it to be true. Oh my God, I was furious. Furious. You telling me I need to see a therapist? What are you talking about? And she was the principal. She was the professor. So I started seeing a therapist in person back in 2015, and I'm still seeing him today. Now it's different. It's different now. Sometimes I wonder, do I need it? But I continue to grow, and I think you see me growing on this journey of mine, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here with me. I'm also afraid that online therapy just isn't as good as in-person therapy. I know that I've experimented with different coaches online, different therapists, in addition to my main therapist, who's just kind of I've had that connection, I've never stuck with them, really. And I wonder if that's because it's online. I never met him in person. I wonder. Because I think for therapy, and especially for healing trauma, it takes some time. It takes some time. But maybe you don't have time. Maybe you're not ready to devote much time to healing trauma, or trauma's not resonating with you, but maybe anxiety does. Maybe anxiety is something you're more familiar with, or depression. Those are more recognized. Maybe this review of Talkspace helps you. I think in my review of Talkspace, which I'll come up, I got some interesting little tidbits that I found online, from the therapist availability being different than what they publicly say to what they say to the therapists. I've looked at their pricing. I've looked at some of the research, and I'm just excited to share with you what I've learned and some of the pros and cons that I see them. I'd also like to just note that I'm sort of new. I'm not new to therapy. I've obviously worked at a treatment center for quite some time and got my master's in it, and just been in this field for quite some time. But online therapy specifically, I don't know. I'm kind of new to it. So I hope to go on a little learning adventure here, to really help share my love for therapy, similar to the movie Stutz. And thanks for being here.